Peace on earth, folks. Peace on earth. This is Hayes Reed, aka Gemini Moon, the Starseed Healer. I am an astrologer and intuitive counselor, tarot reader. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be talking about the moon transiting from Gemini into Cancer tonight. It's currently 9:12 Pacific time. I believe I said that right. I live in California, so that's Pacific time. So this message is gonna come at different times and resonate at different speeds for different people. But yeah, this is the moon going into Cancer now. The zodiac sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. The zodiac sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon, so this is definitely Cancerian moon mothering, nurturing energy that we are moving into. And I do have some notes and some things I want to go over before I pull a card, before I really channel. So just want to get into the notes I took for this moon transit and give you guys a message for how we can utilize this moon transit. Now, the sun is in Aries. The sun is in Aries. It is Aries season. The moon is going to be in Cancer from March 31st up to April 2nd, and the title this, Taking the Long Way Home. So a few transits that you guys should know about regarding this moon transit. Some of the aspects it's going to make is it's going to first square Chiron in Aries at 5 degrees. And I wrote here for the moon square Chiron in Aries at 5 degrees, I said, a way opens in the wilderness, stepping out on faith, taking a detour on the path. Maturity and pleasure of the unknown, going towards what is good for us, transformation. Our arms are too short to box with God, okay? So, Chiron is the asteroid of the wounded healer, which is currently in Aries right now, helping us to activate our healing potential, healing our path right now, healing us, triggering situations. These are trigger points, these are points of triggering and of change and of meeting resistance with bravery and being forced to really step into the warrior archetype, you guys. I have to say, really stepping into the warrior archetype at this time, and then the other important transit is moon trine Mercury. It's going to trine Mercury. Mercury is in Pisces, and it's going to trine Mercury at, give me 1 second. It's going to trine Mercury. It's going to trine, oh God, what am I doing? Well, anyhow, oh, there we go. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to look at this calendar. Okay, it's going to trine Mercury at 15 degrees. So first major aspect it's going to be making, I lied, not first major aspect, but it's actually going to be charging. It's going to be sextiling Uranus and squaring Chiron at 5 degrees. Uranus is at 5 degrees in Taurus. So definitely be on the lookout and the alert for unexpected changes. Just more attention given to these earthly matters, feelings of the heart, feelings of desire, and really forming a more peaceful state of being. I'll say a more peaceful state of being, that really serves you on the path to your highest ascension. Because Uranus is all about awakenings. Uranus is rebellion. Uranus in Taurus is helping us to wake up to our true potential that we have to be producers of our own gardens and helping us to mature in earthly ways. Uranus in Taurus at 5 degrees is really helping us to gather seeds that we want to mature over time, and really gathering the necessary components of our ascension, like tools and just possessions, and really helping us to gain a higher quality of living. So I rambled on a little bit too much about that just now. But the moon is going to make a trine to Mercury at 15 degrees. And I wrote underneath that, thoughts turn into things, a paradigm shift, a clearer vision. Okay. And then the moon is going to be opposing Pluto and Jupiter, which Pluto and Jupiter are conjunct at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So it's going to make that opposition, and that's really going to challenge us. And I wrote here, a new chant, a new anthem, new motivation, awakenings, testimony service, pressure creates diamonds. Okay. So, as I've been channeling into this energy of moon going into Cancer, I want to let you guys know that there's going to be this bend in the road. There's almost going to be this, as I just mentioned, with Moon Square and Chiron, like this detour, finding real comfortability with the path that we're taking, having to take a more easy way, like there's going to be things that are going to challenge us. And, challenges are always here to help us to grow. One thing that we should remember during this time, during this moon phase, Cancer deals with the home, and it deals with our inner self. It deals with the matters of the soul and our comfort and our inner sanctuary, rest. It's an energy of finding fulfillment. And it really, really is about stepping over the threshold. So, I just want to encourage you guys that, we are moving forward in this time. Things are becoming clearer. This moon transit through Cancer is going to be all about really, really forming the vision, with the sun in Aries. I have to talk about that in order to speak about the moon in Cancer. The sun being in Aries is all about our acting from our primal passions and about acting from this new sense of identity, and really, really springing up, being brave, having the faith to push forward. And so Cancer squares Aries. So there is that hard aspect, that challenge, that influence of needing to find real true inner peace with our decisions, needing to find inner peace with the decisions that we're making, and just being very, very clear about our why and our reasoning. And the moon is about our reactions. The moon operates and corresponds to the way that we react, our memory, our dreams, our inner self, So this is a new opportunity to really get to know yourself in a different way. And how this is going to happen is going to be about triggers, being deeply, deeply triggered, being made to really, not push against the grain. Like, this is kind of like one of those things. I'm hearing it as like a learning curve, how my guides are speaking to me as this is going to be a learning curve. Like, this is going to be a jump start and an initiation and activation. The moon this is gonna be the first quarter square before the full moon in Libra. So this is definitely about acting on very, very primitive, foundational, um, foundational behavior, foundational things. And ultimately, this is going to help us step into the greatest version of ourselves by helping us to make the decisions that really line up with the true soul path, what we see us building, what we see us building in the long run. This is going to this is going to help us give us a new navigation system. This is going to help us navigate our experience. And it's going to test us. The moon is going to make those opposing aspects to Pluto and Jupiter. So this is definitely going to be about some type of awakening, Pluto and Jupiter and Capricorn, helping to really magnify and intensify the experience that we're going through, and giving us a window to look at it, giving us a real window to step through, giving us a window. So it's about stepping into a new sense of self-control. Mars will be still conjunct Saturn at that time, fairly, conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees when the moon is in Cancer. So, Saturn, the father, timing, building, what we're producing, the agriculture, the harsh reality, the father, what I'm saying, the coach, and Mars being our actions, our passion, our willpower, our primal urge to act. This is going to help us to gain new authority, new footing, new sovereignty, and help us to really, really authorize something. This is about authorizing something, becoming a master builder, really, really becoming a master of our emotions and fusing our actions with our emotions. This is about greater integrity. This is about integrating new thought forms and, really, really taking action and stepping on the path by faith, with Pluto and Jupiter conjunct in Capricorn. There's this need to, this is about power, and this is about really, really building up more power. I'm saying? Jupiter is the expansion, the traveling, the philosophy, the wisdom, the wisdom on how to get something done, getting more deeper wisdom and philosophy, building from brick and mortar. Pluto is power. Pluto is about transformation, transmutation. It's about power and control. Pluto wants to control. So there's really, really something here. Like there's really, really, really a coming to terms with something, coming to the higher medium. I'm hearing it as coming to the higher medium. And so, this is going to operate in different ways for everybody. This is about really helping to get the vision clear, because the thing about Cancer is that it's the water, and it rules our home, our family, our ancestry, our roots, and it rules where we come from, the moon in Cancer especially, where we come from, and how our mood is, our moods, our reactions to things. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. And this is really just saying that we cannot act within the same way that we've been acting. We have to embody a new character essence. That's the best way that I can really put it. It's going to be very, very healing. Pluto is healing. Pluto is helping to heal while it's in Capricorn, helping to heal, what we're putting into our bodies, the memory that we've stored up in our bodies, just the chemical reactions, the chemical processes, this transformational process, with it being in Capricorn, which Capricorn, the 10th house, represents our career, our role. It represents public life, how we're seen in the public. And so there is this very, very huge transformation of perception and how we see the media, really, really working to educate ourselves. It's a really big deal. This is a really big deal. The times we're in, it's transformational, highly, highly evolutionary. Pluto is about ultimately evolution, transformation, deaths, endings, in a way, putting certain things to rest. It's time to put certain things to rest. It's really about karma. This is really, really about karma. Pluto is very karmic, especially with it being in Saturn's home sign of Capricorn. It's really, really about the karma. And not to mention, Cancer is the North Node right now. So this is a destiny point. This is really about crossing through the threshold of destiny and going towards the soul's calling, our dharma, our real soul nature, like the reason that we're here. And even as I speak, it really, really, I'm getting just this image and this feeling of like foreign affairs and foreign countries, and really, really just getting this more holistic, more respectful sense of universal law and alignment and universal things, understanding that, understanding the universe's way. This is about really, really letting the universe have its way and surrendering, with Mercury being in Pisces. Mercury is in Pisces, our thoughts, our navigation system, it's really being dissolved, and we're communicating in a different way through higher mediums and modes, through poetry and music. There's just a lot of different soul messages coming in, and there's also a close off. There's a close off, and that's why I say there's going to be this bend in the road, and maybe how you expect things to go, it's not really going to go that way. Maybe the way you want to react to something, you find that it doesn't really get you anywhere. And I'm talking about this in such a nonchalant way. Like, we're all quarantined right now. And so we're all having to really come to terms with a lot of different things. And, this is really, really a soul revolution that we're going through. We're really, really going through a soul. Some people have gone through their soul. Like this is dark night of the soul time. Like, this to me speaks to a certain kind of dark night of the soul, but also a very, very deep awakening, a very, very internal aspect of your being starting to evolve and revolutionize itself. And I can't really stress this enough, that humanity as we know it is evolving. It always is. But especially with Mars being conjunct Saturn, which is the planet of restrictions and, rules, regulations, the law, what I'm saying, land, agriculture, Saturn really, really is the taskmaster. He's Saturn, that Saturnian karmic rewards, that we reap. Mars being conjunct that is helping to almost give you a diploma or give you a rank or graduate. You're getting ready to graduate, step into a manhood, step into womanhood. This is really about stepping into new authority, so new power, and just a shift in your conscious awareness regarding how you can move. So I'm going to go ahead and I've been shuffling, and I'm going to go ahead and pull probably a couple just to kind of get just some help to kind of cover this energy. And the first card I pulled was Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords, I definitely feel like, Seven of Swords is about needing to take the back door. This is about having to take a different approach to how you act, and how you decide. Like, this is about deciding that you're going to do things secretly. Like, this is about doing things secretly and not in a way that's devious or deceptive, although Seven of Swords does correspond to deception, lies, people talking about you behind your back. This is about you making the decision that you're going to finesse. And everyone who hears the sound of my voice knows what I'm talking about, because look at the court, and at the bottom of the deck is Nine of Swords. So I pulled these earlier, and then at the bottom of that is the Emperor. So wow, and then at the bottom of that is the World. Oh my God. And then I have the Hangman. Okay, so definitely a bend in the road. Like, this is powerful, 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 powerful shifts. Powerful shifts. The Emperor in the World can even speak to world power systems, world structure. You know what I'm saying? This is about our world structure being completely dissolved and evolved. On a personal level, the Emperor is about authority and not being a dictator, but yes, being a dictator, being someone who's in command, directing your energy. The Emperor is all about being in your authority, being a manager, compartmentalizing, understanding how to get something, understanding the road that has to be taken, and you being basically the boss. But the Emperor also could speak to world power systems, and next to the Emperor we have the World. So there is this sense of separation. There's this sense of moving on and stepping into the next phase of your manifestation. And then we have the Hangman, which is all about surrender. So it really is about surrender to the present moment, surrender to higher powers. We're all having right now to surrender to higher powers. But the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords, what it tells me is that there may be, we're gonna meet some type of resistance. There's gonna be some anxiety and some anticipation of the future, and there may be some unwillingness on your part as a conscious creator to really, really step into your highest state of being. But the Emperor, the World, and Hangman are three major arcana cards. These are the powers that be at this point. That's the only way I can say it, is that these are the powers that be. The Emperor really representing structure, the father, what I'm saying, structure and being in a mastered state. This is about being in a completely mastered state of surrender. The moon going through Cancer is going to be testing us. It's going to be testing us. It's going to be testing our drive. Really, really think about how it feels to be on a football field and you're being tested. You're being tested for that draft. You're being tested. It's really, really like this soul, mind, body, and soul institution. I hope this is making sense. But what I'm saying ultimately is that we are evolving and we are having to step up into new authority. For many of you, this is about taking complete control of your own life, fostering and adopting new ways of being that's really going to empower you. This is about receiving that intuitive, instinctual bite, that nudge from spirit that your time is now. The awakening is now. There's certain habits that are being put to rest, certain routines. And it's all about this greater evolution of the self, of the body. So this video was a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but I believe it was necessary. I hope that this helped. Things are starting to reveal themselves. We walk by faith and not by sight, people. You got to walk by faith. This is a faith walk, and a fate walk too. This is about fate too. Remember, Cancer is the North Node, and now we're at 2 degrees.